As you all know, I haven't really been a huge fan of the DC Cinematic Universe movies. Like, Man of Steel was okay, Batman vs. Superman was a complete and utter mess, and Suicide Squad was just so terrible that we couldn't even release our review on YouTube.
Yeah, so this time we went to go see Wonder Woman, starring Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, and it's basically the next movie in the DCEU that we've all, well, me and Nick have both been fairly negative on.
I knew it
The
was going
last
to be
couple
good.
movies.
I called it.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good?
And it was
pretty good.
Yeah, me and Nick are giving it a
very
positive.
average. Not, I don't know. I'm not even average. It wasn't. It was kind of bad-ish.
I disagree.
Okay,
I mean, this is
nah.
the first of all the. Even though I actually really like Man of Steel, although I admit the other DC
He's not
Cinematic
good,
Universe
though.
movies aren't all that good. This isn't about Man of Steel. That's my opinion on it.
Okay.
I really like that movie, and the rest aren't that good. I mean, Suicide Squad's okay, but again, to back on to this, let's keep it focused.
One of the worst movies.
Is that this one is the first one that critically and commercially has really been the big hit at the same time. Like the other movies made enough money, but like this one's like really like it broke some type of box office record. I don't remember what.
Yeah.
Most for it's definitely biggest for female-led superhero movie, but I don't know if that's really the one they were talking about.
It's just,
but it's been really successful. Definitely the most successful of these DC movies, and I thought it was really well done. A lot of people did not like Gal Gadot getting casted as Wonder Woman. I think she did a really good job.
Yeah,
in the
me
movie.
too.
I think, to your point of how good it is, I think this movie kind of fell victim to the problem with Rotten Tomatoes rating system that basically focuses on
it is too high.
a positive
Yeah,
to
it's a bit
negative
too
ratio.
high.
So if a movie's really like average, then if a lot of the reviews are positive, then it gets this kind of glowing 90-something% when the movie's actually only, like most people, like you'll be hard pressed to find a review of Wonder Woman that says it's great, to be honest. And I think even less than that, I think this movie's like crazy inconsistent and just very kind of sloppy throughout. I thought the first act in that weird place was like really CGI, but not that well done CGI.
I thought it looked good.
I thought it looked good too.
Looked like because some of the stuff looked like obviously a lot of it was CGI, but some of the stuff actually looked like built up kind of well. It looked like kind of Minas Tirith a little bit from
Yeah,
Lord of the
it does
Rings.
look
It was entirely CGI and bad looking.
I disagree. I thought it was
Yeah,
I thought it all looked good. I thought the pacing for the movie was well done. I feel like there was stuff they easily could have done really bad and corny, but they kind of had
They
to
do
put
it
the
really
good.
bad.
Okay, kind
I
of
think
towards
they
the end, but
fell
we'll get to
the
that.
middle.
In the middle and the beginning. I don't know. I thought a lot of it was really sloppy and silly. Like, just some of the action, some of the scenes where she'd be like jumping around, it really didn't look great. I thought, trying to explain here, I didn't really like the kind of world they set up in the first act. It just didn't. It didn't feel like real. It didn't feel like there was a whole lot going on to it. It was just these people who just sat around there and fighting. I didn't really get a good sense of that. I didn't think Robin Wright, if that's what her name is, was like crazy underused, and just in the role she couldn't sell me on. Like I could never buy her as this like warrior lady.
Thought she did a good job.
I thought it was okay. The whole first act, if we're gonna go act by act, was pretty passable. There was nothing that I thought was like really great, but there was nothing I thought like there was nothing egregiously
What
bad.
about the fight with all the Amazonians versus like the German
Germans,
soldiers?
yeah.
That was really cool. I think
Nothing
actually,
really
I thought the
great,
action
but
was
nothing
pretty great.
egregiously bad.
I disagree. I think the action was really.
It was
cool
it was
there.
300 action scenes. It was action scenes that would have been really cool in like 2007.
Again,
But now
I
it's
think
just
they
it's
were
just
good.
fine. They've been in every movie. I don't know. It was
disagree.
cool,
I thought
but I
the
mean,
fights were really cool. Like some of the there was maybe a couple times they used CG or slow mo a little bit much, but a lot of them were really
Okay,
cool.
every single like action that happened during that scene, the music would slow down, whether the shot would like it just go into slow mo, and you get like that Wonder Woman music repetitively over and over again. And not to skip forward, but if I'm gonna like not forget the scene. The physics for Wonder Woman were really dumb because like she was not even at the end, like in the early scenes when she was like jumping off horses and stuff like that, like she would have killed the horse. Like do you know how much power she has? Like there's no, the movie was just really sloppy with stuff like that. Not that that's something that makes the movie like good or bad necessarily, but I think that was part of the thing that made the movie not so great. And then I think when you move into the second, as Chris Pine shows up into this
Chris
movie,
Pine's
I think
great.
Yeah, he's actually
he
really
was
good.
he was good. I think there's
Good?
stuff with their relationship that they did well and stuff that they did poorly.
What do you think they did poorly?
Some of the stuff they did, I like even the humor. Some of the jokes were kind of funny, and some of them were really bad. Like the scene with the.
I thought
the
all the
pool.
jokes worked. To be honest, I thought
All of
they were
them.
all like
Like, the
funny
one-
and kind of like Chris Pine had the good way of like she'd say something
Yeah.
really weird and kind of like ridiculous, and then he'd just be like, "Well, that's like," she was like, "I got brought to life by Zeus with clay," and he's like,
That's stupid.
neat." Like, it's like, you know, he had a
Okay,
good way
okay,
of kind of taking her, how
okay.
she wanted to carry
Chris
down the
Pine
sword, all that
says
stuff.
his lines with clarity and diction.
Okay,
I agree.
clarity and diction.
But-
no,
but-
he was very good.
but-
I think.
Yeah, but despite the fact that he was kind of funny, I didn't think. What was I? Where the hell? What about? Okay, so if you thought all the jokes were, what about the one where like the painfully awkward couple shots where she asked him like, oh, what do you like? He was holding on to like a watch or something that she hadn't seen before, and he was like naked or whatever, and she's like, oh, what is that? Like, and they think like it's his penis. Just silence in the theater. Silence.
Really? I
Just
thought
that
people
joke.
laughed.
No
I
one
chuckled.
laughed. It was
Yeah, it's
super
really odd.
awkward and not
Okay.
funny.
Yeah.
I think
You say
some
so.
of the to just go through the kind of emotional beats of this movie, you have to completely buy their whole relationship, and I bought parts of it at the
I thought their
beginning.
relationship was like really good. I think Chris Pine did a great job. Kind of like Gail Dock was good in the movie, but she hasn't done a ton of this type of thing before. She's had to kind of emotionally lead a movie, and Chris Pine did a good job kind of bringing it there like that. I thought that I think so at least that they.
Okay, so with
they did a
their
good job
with
with
their
that.
relationship, I thought parts of it worked. Like the scene where they're dancing together or whatever. I thought that was
Yeah.
that was a good moment. That was a sweet moment of them dancing together. But some of the jokes that they had back and forth, and I thought the ending. We will go into the ending more, but I thought the part where he basically says goodbye to her, where she can't hear.
yeah,
or
but then
whatever.
they go.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I liked it when she couldn't hear. That was actually sweet because we know what he's saying basically. And then somehow they go back, but she actually could hear him. And it's like, then what was that part for? Why do I need to see the same scene basically twice? I thought it was really sloppy. Going into sloppy stuff with Chris Pine, I thought it didn't make any sense why just some random spy could just walk into the British war room, essentially, and just basically tell them what's up and start
Well,
planning
he's probably their
things.
highest level spy if he went into
No.
like.
He's an
the
American
army.
spy, and he's just some freaking captain. He's just a guy. That was stupid. It was the plot was very silly and just very we have
thought
to
it
go
was
here
good
and do
until
this.
the end. I thought like going into it was the idea. Oh, we gotta go end World War One. We gotta take. I thought that was actually well done. They went through the front lines. The whole sequence where she like takes over that battle. And they
that
went
was-
just
that was
over.
for me
That
by
was
far
all
the best
great.
scene
They
of the
clear
pic-
the town.
Best scene of the film.
Yeah, that was the best scene. She runs out, blocks everything
think-
with her shield. The action
think,
there was great. That's what I want. Like that's what I kind of wanted to see. Like I feel like in Captain America they missed it where they could have just showed him kind of beating up like not the Bezo Nazis, but that's like. They kind of didn't use the setting. I
Yeah.
think this one they used the setting to the fullest extent. Like there was a
You think this is
machine gun
better
turret
than
she
Captain
jumps
America,
through.
the first one.
Yeah, I do. I think so. I mean they're both like pretty like
I'd say-
similar in quality, but I
Yeah.
like this more.
All right,
in
so
what they're
how
about.
about how about to balance it out? I'll get to some of my issues with the film, and for me, probably the
I'll be
biggest for
gone.
me, definitely, and this is an issue that plagues a lot of comic book films that come out recently: the villains.
Yeah, the villains were terrible. It was
Yeah.
first of all, I mean, I guess if you have to make a plot or a story, they literally took a historical figure, like a real general, and
Turned
made
into
him
a cartoon.
the cartoon villain who basically, if we're just gonna go off on a tangent here, he just takes these like the Dr. Poison or whatever her
Yeah.
name was,
Yeah.
who just makes like
That's
literally
lame.
make him something that would just like basically kept making him like super soldier serum, basically like
Yeah.
Captain America serum. And she's just like, oh, just grab your medicines. It's just this thing I made. This
Just,
is in
like,
1915 or something like
18.
that. It's in
But, yeah.
1918. And she's making super soldier serum, and everybody just kind of shrugs it off. It was literally
So
there
dumb.
to be there for like
Yeah.
a 2-second
So
action
he
scene.
could fight Wonder Woman.
Oh
It was
my
so
God.
dumb.
And then when Ares is found
Oh,
out to be David
Ares.
Clueless, I mean, you could go into the fact that it's really it would have been better if the villain was just that people are evil, because that would have
Yeah, it would've made a
that
lot
would have
more
validated
sense.
how stupid the plot was and how kind of annoying and just how unreal. Like, I get it's a comic book story, but that would have almost validated some of the problems that we had with the really overly cartoon villains and the kind of awkward tone. But they make it so Ares does actually exist, and he's David friggin' Thewlis. David Thewlis' stupid face behind some giant CGI mess.
That looks bad.
So unthreatening. He was so bland to watch. He was just.
And their fight made kind of I don't know
Man.
what Ares' powers are supposed to be, but like they made no sense. He was just doing random crap, and it could have been great. It could have been like, oh, I'm here to end World War I if I just take out this one bad guy, even though they kind of just turned a real person into a cartoon. But then what they do instead is just like, and it would have been cool that at the end, like, the villain was just like that people are kind of bad at times. And
But
maybe they could have thrown in Ares later, he pulls the strings, whatever. They could have done it in a better way. Instead, they don't. And yeah, it was just kind of like a cop-out, just to be like, after doing that, because it was really cool when Chris Pine stops her. And it's like, no, like, this isn't going to end at all. We can stop all this stuff happening. And then
that wasn't even real. Like, it was, no, Ares actually does exist. And the
Yeah.
stupidest.
oh, and he's like, I'm gonna do, you know how I'll make them keep fighting? I'll push them into an armistice they can't keep. I'm like, why don't you just let them keep fighting?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
your plan didn't
For
even
me,
make
probably the
sense.
dumbest thing with
Doesn't make
Ares,
sense.
aside from his appearance, which looks beyond
Some
unthreatening,
fucking
especially when compared to the
old
comic.
man.
Garbage armor.
And
Rude.
is that
God, it was.
You guys sound like
Pycelle there?
I really
Fucking
can't
Lupin.
see him. Yeah, I
Fucking
only saw
Lupin.
him as Professor Lupin from
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, going back to what I was
Couldn't see him
saying,
as a threat.
Can we? I felt that when you learned that he killed all the Greek gods was pretty stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb. From also, one good scene though, just to balance this out, when the town gets
Done
gassed.
with it.
And,
Yeah,
like,
that
it's
was
kinda
actually
like Wonder
pretty
Woman, even though with all the
surprising
powers
that
she
they
can't save.
Yeah,
everyone.
but
that was cool. It
I don't
would've even
know.
made
I mean,
more
it's just
sense
like,
that nothing
well,
she could do.
They got gassed.
It was
Let's
bad.
go,
The scene
let's go to
looked
the
great.
climax. Like, it
After
was
they
really,
built up the.
I don't think it
good
was
stuff with the town.
particularly. It was like the scene in The Force Awakens where they blow up like 8 planets. I don't
No,
know
because
those people.
you
I don't
actually
care
cared about the town.
Yeah.
Because they actually had
No,
a
I
scene
didn't.
with them.
You
In The
can't
Force
tell me
Awakens,
what
they're
I
just like,
care
we're gonna
about.
get 3 planets
That's exactly
and it
what
blows
they
everything
did.
up.
They just blew up a town for no
Alright.
reason. Also, let's talk about some characters that they wanted to have fun characters, but they were so
I thought they were
unimpressive.
I thought they were
Movie.
fun.
Mhm.
Goofy ass, that chief guy.
He was not. He
The
did say his
useless
lines
guy.
with care.
The literally
with
useless
diction.
guy.
What, the sniper? Didn't he? He started shooting at one point at the end.
I did.
He
No,
did.
he didn't.
Yeah, they didn't stop shooting, but they actually did show him start shooting people at the end.
Who knows what he did? And then
His singing was kind of funny.
All right, can we go back?
And who was and like their whole thing was like,
I
oh,
don't
look,
even
maybe
remember
get what
who
we
they had
want
in the
or
squad.
and what we need, but not what we deserve. Like they had a fun friendship thing going, even though
They-
what was it, the chief guy, he kind of like didn't quite have the
But-
best.
and I would
I need to ask.
yeah,
I just
he
want to
looked
say,
flat,
the
Try.
another issue I do kind
Ooh,
of
I
have with the
remember
film
something.
is the final battle. How it's basically just. It felt very reminiscent to the Doomsday fight in Batman vs Superman, where it's this kind of overly CG.
Everything was on
fight,
fire.
explosions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to go into the ending, how the movie went from like the only really good point the movie was making, where Chris Pine, even though he was explaining it basically, but
Yeah.
he had to explain to Wonder Woman that look, there actually is evil in this world, and there's bad people, and then the finale just turns to literally
Love.
Wonder Woman's literally
Yeah.
just like
Love.
think about the love.
I know,
Like,
what?
what if like love against evil? Like this,
What does
how-
that
why
have to
do
do
people
with
think
love?
This is a great movie or even a good movie. Like the literally like main point of the movie is just like I will fight with love, not because I'm a god or something. Like
No, it's- you're-
Yeah, it would have like
It was
if they
stupid.
didn't put
Yeah,
like the
that was
actual like
dumb.
tagline "love" on it, it could have made more sense. Like,
No.
some people are bad, some people are not. That's just like we
But
gotta
love
try to make
fights
this
the
happen.
truth,
They're like
not love.
sure, but like it was just kind of like just seemed a little bit hammed in
It was
and just kind of
super
corny.
hammy, super
I mean,
Yeah.
but again, I thought. the
Okay, so
characters
hold
were
on.
good,
If
yeah.
you think this, I'm gonna let you talk, but I almost want to go in.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you think this movie's like a good movie, then let's look at like the bones, the emotional structure. So first, at the beginning of the movie, you have to be in with the relationship that grows between Chris Pine and Wonder
I
Woman.
thought they did a good job with it.
Me too.
I thought some things they did that were funny, some things were kind of poorly done, and some things were just the plot was kind of stupid. And then you have to be able to follow that and follow them, and then you have to be able to be okay with the transition of Ares is David Thewlis, which I don't think I don't think this movie was consistent. There wasn't really anything about this movie that I couldn't either like predict except for David Thewlis, really, or that didn't wow me at all. I don't know. I thought the action scenes were cool for like 10 years ago. I thought the CGI was kind of poor, like across the board. Like some of the times where Wonder Woman would be jumping around or something, it's like this looks like I'm watching.
I thought
like,
a lot
the
of it
Mummy.
looked good until I really think the end it looked bad. But I think everything else, I think it looked good.
And okay, so to last thing we haven't talked about Gal Gadot specifically as Wonder Woman in the first movie, and to talk about saying her lines with clarity and diction. She basically all she did was say her lines. I thought she was okay. She had no emotional kind of.
Really? You don't think she connected with the other characters?
Not really. She was just kind of like, she could do jokes well. She could do a couple jokes well, which we knew basically from Fast and the Furious. And she could basically just kind of say her lines like a superhero. I
thought
she
did a good job.
She wasn't. I don't think she was like awful or anything. But I think there's a whole lot more emotionally to Wonder Woman, and to the characters in this movie. I don't think this movie was directed particularly well for a director like Patty Jenkins. I don't think she really brought anything.
Sure.
Like, this movie looks like it was directed by the entire studio heads to just try and make a fun, palatable movie. That's basically all I'm going to say on this movie. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to say, I think this movie is about a 5 out of 10. I thought it's not terrible. It's better than, like, complete dog shit movies like Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman, but,
this is
overrated.
This is what I think. I actually think
I'm
she
out.
did a really good job.
I'm out.
Bye.
Directing, and I guess this will sort of be
Yeah,
part of my
let's just
final thoughts. But I think that she did a good job directing. Again, I'll say like the fighting scene where she goes through like the World War I battlefield, and it kind of builds and builds, and all the guys start noticing she's winning, and they start going on. Like, it kind of reminded me of that one Assassin's Creed trailer from like so long ago.
Shut up!
All right, you don't have to tell him to shut up. I don't know why you're debating me from another room, but
Yeah, you left. You were gone.
okay, easy. But yeah, I thought she did a good job. A lot of those scenes, especially like the one where they actually make you care about. They could have just shown like the bad stuff going on, but they actually make you care about the town or how it was written. I thought was pretty cool. Like how they introduced the war, they made it its own villain, which would have made the ending even better if they just kind of made it like that. But how it's just like 25 million people dead and like all these countries and all that terror, like just talking about it was like the world's ending.
Oh God!
Because
No,
that's
I
what
get
it
it,
was.
Mitchell.
Why is
Hold on,
everybody
hold on,
yelling
hold on.
over me?
Hold on. I didn't make...
What?
All of them.
What is it? Okay,
What
just
is it, Mitchell?
I'm going to ask a question, and if you can refute me, then this movie is better than I think it is.
Okay.
What about this movie was different from other superhero movies, and what about this movie added to the superhero genre that we haven't already gotten a bajillion, trillion, like all these other times before? I don't think it did anything new or anything. I don't think it added anything at all.
I'm not saying it added anything
And it
like
had a lot of problems.
crazy
Okay, now
or
I'm actually
new.
going.
That's not what I mean. I'm just saying a lot of the stuff was different. I think World War I, we haven't seen that in the movie. They kind of went up some good sort of grittier parts. But I'll disagree. I think Gal Gadot did more than just say her lines with clarity and diction. I thought she was pretty charismatic. She was gonna just kind of like things wouldn't sort of phase her, like. Because they go into like she goes into the war room, and since it's 1918, they all like think women can't like do anything, so they're all like, "What's going on?" It doesn't even compute to her. She did a really good job at kind of portraying someone who's never had to deal with any of that. I think that I thought she was really good for a lot of those lines. I thought she played all the stuff with Chris Pine really well, and I think that the direction was really good with their scenes, and especially when the one scene where the one guy kind of like drives the plane out and dies. Even though like I thought that was really good because they could have just shown that it could have just ended, but they give it, and they kind of did this in Dark Knight Rises too. They kind of give the scene just a few seconds to sort of play out before they end it. Like it just kind of the camera just sort of sits on his face for a bit, kind of thinks about it, and then he does it. He just kind of like gets a moment just to figure out what he's doing, and that was good. And the part where you couldn't hear what he was saying was cool, and then I guess it sort of made some more sense that then it's like she kind of figures out, okay, this is what he was saying. The whole choice of are you gonna kill this person or not was kind of dumb and hammed in. Part of the messy ending, but really I think the all the stuff with the other characters was really good. Even that one thing where they were talking about like the Native American guy, he was just like, even though he kind of struggled to say his lines with, I don't know, he had a monotone voice the entire whenever he was, but he made some good points where it's just like, oh yeah, like what happened to all your people and like your land. It's like, oh, his people took me. It's kind of building up that thing. Maybe everyone's not good anyway, which is again why this movie would have been so much better if just they ended it, but there was no Ares, or they tried to do it in a way that fit a little bit more. So I think it was overall pretty well done. Gail, that was really good. My final thoughts is it's a 7 out of 10. All right, you go ahead.
Yeah, to give my final thoughts, I'll just start off while saying that to answer Mitchell's question on what does it add to the superhero genre is that, for me, kind of the big difference between this and like some of the Marvel films is that this legitimately feels
There's tension.
epic.
It's epic. There's sort of like it's fun, but without sort of sacrificing any type of like tension or
A whole village is
issues
gassed.
here. Yeah, it's gassed and it matters when
And
it
it
happens
actually
because they give you scenes to see all these people how they were like screwed so much before,
and
how sad they were, and now they're kind
and
of.
I feel like this
being
film did a
believed in
much
their
better
lives.
job at showing the whole. Even though you're a superhero, you can't save anyone. A lot better than say Man of Steel.
I think they both did it well, to be honest. But let's not make this a Man of Steel.
Yeah, let's not do that. All I'm going to say is that to me, I'll admit that I'll admit it's not. I wouldn't call it a great film, and for me, I wouldn't go as far. Definitely would not put it as high as like 93, like on Rotten Tomatoes, because it definitely has some huge flaws, and it's far from the best comic book film of this year, because that honor goes to Logan.
Oh well, yeah, easily.
But I will say that this is, for me, definitely the best film from the DC Cinematic Universe, most because I feel like it's the first one out of these films that legitimately finally felt like it actually kind of understood the essence of the character, because you legitimately care about Wonder Woman, you legitimately care about Chris Pine's character Steve, and not to mention the fact that to differentiate itself from some of the other DC Cinematic Universe films, it's much more optimistic and hopeful, which to me is more of a plus despite all of its faults, and that's why I'm going to give Wonder Woman a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so that's a review. Pretty positive for at least me and Nick.
Pretty good movie.
Next movie review
is going to
could
be
for
a Netflix film called "I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore."
No, that was what we're doing. That could be the next one. And we'll see you guys next time.